Hello children, in last class we had studied about the 5th standard social studies bridge course, right? So about the temperature zone, oceans, continents and all. So today we'll finish off the bridge course and start with the 6th standard social studies. Okay. So now we had studied about the natural calamities also, right? The natural, so the events caused by natural forces. So the events caused by natural forces are nothing but the natural disasters or not natural calamities like earthquake, volcanoes, and cyclones, drought, floods. Yes, these many. And also when these disasters strikes with force, when immense force is there in this natural, when there is a immense force, yes, naturally, then the destruction is more. We all know loss of life. Yes, many will lose life, and also lot of destructions will happen, isn't it? And also some of, and depending upon the intensity. So if as I told you, like earthquake, when we take earthquake, so earthquake is measured using an instrument called seismogram, isn't it? So and it is measured on a Richter scale with the magnitude of 1 to 10. If the intensity is above 6, it is said that the force is more and the intensity is more, the destruction is also more. If the intensity is less than 5, that means we may feel light movement of the earth, and also where there is no destructions. But if the intensity is more, the damage is also more on the surface of the earth. The point where the earthquake occurs under the ground, we all know that the tectonic plates in the mantle layer, they'll be slowly moving when they collide or slide each other, depending on the force which they collide, right? Depending on that, the intensity, depending on the intensity only, the damage will be caused, right? So the point where the earthquake occurs under the ground is called as what? Focus, isn't it? And also the origin, that is above the earth, above the surface of the earth, it is called as epicenter. Yes, suppose if this is the ground, and here the earthquake happens, right? This is called focus, and this point corresponding to this point on the surface of the earth is called epicenter, right? Focus is under the ground and epicenter is above the ground. So depending on the intensity of collision, here the damage is decided. And when in the case of volcanic eruptions, so volcano erupts, yes, when the molten rock or the magma that is present in the mantle layer, due to the pressure of the core region, the magma or the molten rock present in the mantle layer, they erupt. Yes, as volcano, when they come out, it will be in the form of lava, and the opening of the surface of the earth where the volcano erupts, right? That opening is called as what? Vent, isn't it? And we studied about the three layers of that is the three different types of volcanics, that is extant and dead and active, inactive, right? Floods, next destruction is floods. So floods, how do they occur? So they occur when excessive rainfall happens. Yes, when there is a heavy rainfall, floods occur, and the rivers, lakes, they overflow to the surrounding surface of the surrounding surfaces, and that is how the floods occur. And the tsunami, the difference between flood and tsunami is, so flood occurs due to the excessive rainfall. Yes, tsunami occurs when there is a series of waves created due to the disturbance of ocean water. Okay, tsunami occurs due to the disturbance of the ocean water, and floods occur due to heavy rainfall. Fine. And also the drought you might have seen. So few areas are marked as drought areas because there very less rainfall you can see, or there is no rainfall at all for many years. So they'll have a record of those areas for many years. If it happens the same, or if it repeats the same kind with very less rainfall or no rainfall, that areas is called as drought areas. Okay, at that place it is very difficult for farmers to grow crops, and also the people living there will may die because due to the drought condition, no water, sufficient water for them to drink. Yes, due to the dryness of land and all, so malnutrition may occur. So there are many reasons. Disease will spread, many diseases may come. Yes, people may lose their life also. And cyclones are the very violent storms, you can say, yes, or high speed winds accompanied by rain. Fine. Cyclones are the strong wind. So where you can see near the coastal areas and all, yes, strong wind along with the rain, so the cyclone occurs. So for these disasters, occur, we can't know when they will occur and all. So weather forecasters, they may predict the weather conditions of the place, and they may alert few coastal areas saying the cyclone may occur, or like this due to climatic changes, they will warn them to vacate the places, isn't it? And when these disasters occur also, no one can stop the disasters, natural disasters. Yes. So when the disasters happen, many people lose their life, isn't it? So for them who lose their life, who lose their property, yes, for them there are many government agencies and many organizations like UNICEF, Red Cross Society and WHO, where they provide help to people during these disasters. It may be like medical supplies or doctors to those places, ambulances and food. So many things they'll arrange. They provide help. So there are many organizations and also private and non-private. Private and government agencies where they help people during these kind of disasters. You might have watched in the TV, right? When the coastal areas gets affected. Yes, when there is a strong wind or when the sea water flows into the cities or towns. So the doctors may go and treat them. So ambulances will be there. So medical kits they'll supply, food they'll supply. So there are many organizations where they provide help for them. And we studied about the Indian heritage also. So we all know that India was a very rich and glorious during a time. There was a time where India was very rich and very glorious. Yes, right? And to how we came to know that India was very rich, and also there were many rulers who ruled, yes, who ruled India, and Nizams and Muslims, those fights and all. So all we came to know due to the written records, right? Written records and the happenings were written. So, and we also know that we got independence in the year 1947. So we were not born also. How we came to know that India was under the control of British? Yes, and we got independence due to Gandhiji and that is many freedom fighters. So Bal Gangadhar Tilak, like that, many freedom fighters fought for us. Yes, that is why we are leading a very happy and prosperous life today. Yes, and India has also become independent because of those great leaders. So how we came to know? So because of the past history. So those written records, it may be, so those things are passed to us. That is how we came to know. Yes, right? And to know that Mughals were there, or Mauryans, Chalukyas, many dynasties were there in that period. So they have built their own monuments. Yes, like Taj Mahal, Red Fort, and Fatehpur Sikri built by so many rulers, right? So that these monuments tell about the history of that particular king, maybe. And the paintings in Ajanta, Ellora, yes, Ajanta tells about the paintings of Buddhist childhood days, right? And in Ellora caves, there is a Kailasa temple, right? So these many things tell us the stories that India at that time, how India was, right? And also how many, so many goddesses we worshipped, right? Not one. So there were so many god and goddesses where we worshipped. So like this, India was very rich, and at one time, so there was a Portugal, that is that is Portugal explorer called Vasco da Gama, right? He found the sea route to India through African continent. He didn't come through the land because Arabs were controlling the tax, this thing maybe, or the trading things were under the control of Arabs. So through them, the Indian products were going to other countries. But they were putting more tax to the other countries. So other countries wanted to pay more tax. So to avoid that tax purpose, what the European countries they did, so they invaded India through the sea route. Yes, they came to India through sea route in 1948. That is Vasco da Gama, and thereby they started to settle in India. So they opened East India Company, yes, to trading purpose. They came to know that India is very good in spices and cotton, pearls, silk, gold, like this. So there in European countries, gold were very costly. Yes. So they came here. When they saw the richness of India, what they did is they went back to Europe and they narrated the Indian richness. So on, like under the Queen Victoria, yeah, under the Queen Victoria, so they signed the permission saying to do trading, to open East India Company in India, and for the trading purpose, they started to trade. So gradually, what they did, they started to open their companies in all parts of India, and thereby they started to rule India. Yes, the British started to rule India. Thereby, in the 18th century, so in the 19th century, they introduced English as the official language where they can do business for business purpose. So because they were not able to understand Indian language and Indians were not able to understand their language. So because of that purpose, already 80 to 90%, so they started to conquer. They were ruling India. Yes, and for that purpose, they made the English as the official language, and thereby they introduced in schools, colleges, everywhere, and that is how English became our official language. It is a link language where it links all the countries in the world. Yes, right? And also India became independent in the year 1947. Yes, Mahatma Gandhi ji. He was working in Africa as a lawyer, and later on he opposed there also because many Indians were treated as slaves and they were not respected in every place. So he came back to India in 1950, and then he also saw that here also the same thing was happening. Indians were not given proper respect and they were treated very badly. Because of that, he joined the National Congress, that is National Congress Party, and he started to, that is, he went through non-violence. Yes, non-violent means without any fights. So with peace. So he started Satyagraha, and even there were many other group of people where they didn't wanted to go through peace, because Britishers were opposing all kind of talks and all kind of rules. They were not accepting anything that that Indians were conveying for them about the problems it may be. Yes. So the few young leaders, they didn't wanted to go through peace. They wanted a violent. They wanted to go through violent, and many battles took place. So many revolts took place, but all failed because British had got very good weapons and huge armies. Because of very good weapons and huge armies, they could not fight. Indians could not fight against them. So all were everything was down because British rule was very powerful, and also many soldiers, Indian soldiers, were working for the British. They were called as sepoys. Why? Because it's for their survival. Because for their survival, they joined the British army, and also partition of Bengal. So Bengal was a very province country, right, at that time. So it was again it was Hindus, Muslims. So these many differences were not there. All were working as one unit, as one. So seeing this, what the British did was, so they wanted to partition the Bengal state. Yes, like Muslims and West Bengal and the East Bengal. And again, this didn't go for too long. So again, this was also a flop for them. And also, people in Bengal decided to boycott all foreign goods. So by only Swadeshi or Indian goods. So they urged, saying to buy only the Swadeshi goods, not the British goods. And huge bonfires were made. So where the British goods were burned, and the Swadeshi, they encouraged Swadeshi goods. So this is how. So there was more. The people all over the country, all people they were British. They could not control the Indians. They could not control the people because it was a huge population. So what they did, they finally, we got independence. Yes, and also you know about the Jallianwala Bagh. Jallianwala Bagh, what happened, and also Chauri Chaura. So many revolts were taken place against the British, but none of them was successful. And also the movement, the Congress launched the Quit India movement in 1942. So saying go, that is do or die, was given to the people of Gandhiji. So Quit India movement means it was a message like to British to quit India. So finally by 15th August 1947, we got Independence Day. So these many topics we studied, right, in 5th standard. So now we will we'll start with the 6th standard social studies. So till 5th standard, it was social studies. Now from 6th standard, it will be social science for you all. Social science. So why sudden change, like from social studies to social science? So social science is all about how the society works. Okay. So till today, you studied only about the heritage of India and battles, how we got freedom. Yes, only few things which were about history. So now we are going to study about the prehistory also. Prehistory means where there is no written records. The archaeologists digged into the prehistorical things, and thereby it is called as like research. They have done a research, so it is said to be a social science. So in social science, you'll be having 3 sections. So by now you might have got your textbooks. Yes. So in social science, you're having 3 sections. That is history, geography, and civics. So history is the study of the physical. So history is the study of past events. Study of past events, dates. So particularly in human affairs. So geography, it is the study of the physical features. So physical features of Earth and its atmosphere. And civics, it is all about the rights and duties of a citizen. So study of rights and duties of a citizen, and also how the government, functioning of the government. So social science is of 3 sections from this year, that is history, geography, and civics. History, in history what you'll study about the past. So again, history is of 2 kinds, that is history and prehistory. Prehistory means where you have no written records. So particularly in human affairs, how the Indus Valley civilization emerged. So those things you'll be studying in this year. So geography is the study of physical features of Earth and its atmosphere. So part of it you have studied in 5th standard already. Yes, about the Earth and the solar system. So how many planets are there? So we'll be studying about the physical features. Yes, and also atmosphere also. You have studied how many layers are there, these things. We'll go in little deep. So in civics, you're going to study. So civics is a new thing. So where you're going to study rights and duties of a citizen and functioning of the government. So as a citizen of India, what are the things that we have to take take up? So these things you will be studying. The next class, hope be ready with your textbooks. Okay, 6th textbook. So till now, whatever I have done, I hope you have written in 100 pages homework book. Yes. So when it is intimated, you can bring it for corrections. Okay, thank you.